Welcome back to this channel for a video that was supposed to be released like back in August. I just never got around to actually making it because it takes a long time to make. The last time I did one of these, I mostly did it for my own sake. Tons of Rock was one of the best like musical experiences I've had in my whole life. So this video might be interesting to like 2 people. Here we go, the long overdue 2024 Tons of Rock recap. So we start out at day number 1. It's not a guarantee that you get like wonderful weather in Norway during the summer. We are a country that's known for its unstable weather. The 4 days I had at Tons of Rock was like just beautiful. So much sun, it was so warm there. So the first thing I did was head into Oslo, and I went on a bus and I got up to the plane where this festival is being held. Same place every year, it's great. I got my wristband and then I went inside and I met my dad. I got a beer and then the first band went on, which was Black Debbath. Watch my Tons of Rock recap from 2023. If you haven't, then go watch it. It's a really great video. Black Debbath is like this comedy band that opens the festival every year, and they're equally as fun every time. And then I went to go see a band named Motorpsycho. Which I wasn't a huge fan of, but that's just because I don't think Motorpsycho is a festival band. I think they're more of a venue band. And when I posted those videos on my TikTok talking about that, some people did say that, yes, I love them, but they're not a festival band, which I could see. They were really good, just not my cup of tea. After that, I needed to find some shade because the sun was just excruciatingly hot this day, and it was about to get worse during the week. But I sat in the shade, and then I met up with my dad again to get some food. And then I saw a band that became one of my favorites during the whole festival. I just went into a tent randomly to see someone who was playing and to get some shade. And there was a band there playing, and they were called Alien Weaponry. I fell in love with this band in 45 minutes I was there or something. I just loved their energy. I loved the music. I loved the language. I loved everything about them. I went and bought merch for them because I just adored their music so much. I fell in love, and I've been listening to a lot of them. They were definitely like one of the highlights of this entire festival. I encourage you to go listen to Alien Weaponry because they make just amazing rock music. So little task. One of the big headliners for day 1 was Europe. You probably know Europe from their hit song The Final Countdown, which is the only song I knew from Europe. And hearing The Final Countdown for me was absolutely incredible because my dad has been putting on that song ever since I was a little girl in the car. That was surreal to hear that song live. Love them. Someone commented last year that they were shocked that like Guns N' Roses, which were the headliners for last year, were actually headlining that festival, because a lot of people thought that Tons of Rock is this sort of minor festival. The headliner this year was fucking Metallica. Do you realize how insane it is to get Metallica to play a festival on like a stage in Oslo somewhere? It is insane. And I remember when Metallica was announced as a headliner, me and my friend had been talking about it. We were like, it does make sense with their schedule, but there's no way that Tons of Rock, first of all, can afford Metallica. Second, that Metallica would play on like some minor stage in Oslo. That's not happening. Because again, my dad loves Metallica, and he's been passing that love on to his daughters. I had seen Metallica back in like 2018 when they were in Oslo last, but being able to see them again, I was so excited for it. Me and my friend, we went to Barricade for Metallica. We got pretty close to the stage. I would say like in terms of rows, I would say like maybe 5 rows back, something like that. Really close. It was so fun getting to experience this band up close like that. And to be able to say that you see Metallica more than once is just such a privilege, because they're the world's biggest band for a reason. Also, why is James Hetfield so hot? Then I went home to this amazing sunset, and I don't know, just going home from Tons is such like an experience in itself, because people are like mildly drunk and have experienced all these bands they love, and it's just it's so pretty. It's just magical, honestly. And then we move on to day number 2. Day number 2 was by far the hottest day out of all of these days. It's not often we get above like 25 degrees in Norway Celsius, just saying, but I think it was like 26 or something, 27. And for me, who's used to cold, that is a lot. But the first band that I went to see on my own was a Norwegian band called Oslo S. Which I also really fell in love with. I saw them later that same year in 2024, and I was front barricade, so I fell in love with them. And after that, we went to see Night Versus, which I really had no like relation to or expectation of. They're an instrumental band from what I gathered. Not really my vibe. It's not something that I go back and listen to, but I appreciated what I was hearing in the moment, obviously. After that, we went to see Opeth. My dad was like, Opeth is playing, you have to go see Opeth. So I went to see Opeth, and I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't really think Opeth would be my cup of tea, but the front singer has such a cool voice that I found myself just like enthralled most of the time. I was just so in awe about what I was hearing. Also, definitely a highlight of that entire thing. After that, me and my friend went to check out some tattoos, because fun fact about Tons, they have a tattoo stand. I'm not sure if that's like standard for other festivals, but you can get a tattoo on site. So we looked at the tattoos. I mean, should I get this one? You guys tell me. We went to see another band that I've never heard of before called Wasp. Really impressed me about Wasp was that we learned that the front singer had broken his back a couple of months ago, and he was now back and singing. That was insane to me. I really enjoyed myself a lot more than I thought I would. The main headliner for day number 2 was Tool, which is also a band that I had heard of, just never listened to. The problem with Tool is that they are fabulous musicians, but they did not have any screens, because you know the stage has screens. They didn't have any live feed on those. We who stood like all the way back couldn't see anything. So they used the screens for like projections and stuff instead. I just kind of got lost in it because I was so far back that just hearing it, I need to see something to be like engaged, for me at least, in this kind of medium. So Tool kind of fell short for me. They were really, really good. It was late in the day, I was tired, I was warm, so not being able to see anything just sort of made it a little bit worse for me. And I kind of want to go back and see them in an arena setting. I think that would really help me. We move on to day number 3. Wow. Day number 3 was by far the most like drama day that we had, and I'll get back to it. The first thing we did was lay in some hammocks. We laid in those hammocks until first band of the day, which was Nova Twins, and they are so good. I loved them. I wish they were at the bigger stage, but seeing them on like the smaller one and being up close to them, it's just absolutely perfect. They were so good. I wish we had more women at Tons. There isn't a lot of women playing. They really just rocked my fucking ass off. If I can recommend something, again, Nova Twins. You won't be disappointed. Here is where the drama happened. The next band that we went to see was a band called Orange Goblin, which my friend really wanted to see, and I was like, that sounds great. We ended up at the very, very front of the barricade. When they first started to play, I just have to say, fabulous musicians. There's so much masculine energy in that band. It's always like, are you ready to fucking rock? And everyone's like, eh. As they were playing, we counted like a lot of stage divers. There were so many stage divers, which is not uncommon. This happens all the time. But we had to catch someone like every 5 seconds, so you were kind of like distracted by what was happening. At one point, I just remember, this is like fragments, I remember there were so many people coming that I felt like I had to duck. So I ducked down, like literally I sat down on the ground so I wouldn't have to get like my head kicked in by someone's feet. The only thing I remember is looking like this way, then I looked that way at my friend who was standing next to me, and I just see her like that. And that's because someone, a stage diver, had kicked her in the head as he was getting dragged off the barricade. And as that happened, she also hit her head in the in the barricade itself, which is made of metal. So all I remember is seeing her being turned around by one of these guards and just drug over the barricade. And I remember thinking, what the fuck? And then I saw her get like transported back, but I couldn't move. I was in the middle of this crowd. I wasn't gonna start like pushing people away. Waited until the concert was over. Here is a picture from their Instagram and me in the corner there. And then I ran over to the medical people, or like one of the guards, and I was like, my friend is where's my friend? And he's like, what's your friend's name? And then he went back, and then she came out, and she was fine. There was a small concussion because it was a hard kick. Stage divers, you do you, but fucking hell, you guys kick. And then we went to the art tent, because Tons also has an art tent for artists to come and sell their art. We ended up buying some art. It's on my wall over here. I can show the picture that I bought. Then we watched a band called Span. I don't remember much of that. I think it was very average for me. I'm sure they were great. I hardly remember this because it's been so long. We sort of passed by a band called Turnstile, and I wish I'd stopped to see them because the vibes just seemed so cool, but we were in line to go to the Ferris wheel, so I didn't get to stand there. And of course, we had to do the the fucking Ferris wheel. If you watched my video from last year, you would know that I hate heights, but I always feel like I had to go on that Ferris wheel because it's so cool to like be above there and see everyone down on the ground and see the entire festival. It's so cool, but I hate it every time. I sit like this with iron grips on these bars because I hate being up high. The second to last band we watched was a band called Glucifer. That is again someone I don't really remember, so they mustn't have stuck out in my mind. But the main headliner this time was Judas Priest. I only knew Judas Priest from Breaking the Law. I was not expecting like a metal leather jacket Santa Claus to be their front singer, but I really enjoyed myself. I just couldn't get over that he looked so much like a leather daddy Santa Claus. Judas Priest fans, that is a compliment. This is not me dissing anyone. I think he was fabulous. But Leather Daddy Santa Claus, the last day, boo. We actually started with a white chocolate croissant. And this is important. We tried to get those croissants on day 3, but when we got there, they said, oh no, they were sold out a long time ago. If you want them, you'll have to come here when we open. And we ate these white chocolate croissants. The first band that we saw was a band called Pil og Bue, which in English is bow and arrow. But I really liked them because they were such sweet guys. So yeah, good start to the morning with a croissant and 2 very sweet older men. My second stop was a band called Simon. I don't really know how to explain because they're a Norwegian band with a Norwegian name. Simon is like a type of candy. I'd heard a lot about them and I wanted to go see them, and I gained so much respect for this band. So that's also been a really big highlight of mine. Third band of the day. We saw a lot of bands this day. It was a band called Batushka. So we went to go see them and it was really cool. It was even more cool learning how much drama there is within this band. I recommend you search up their name and read all about what this band has been through because it's fucking crazy and it's so fun to read through. We went to see a band called Creator, which again, I don't really have a memory of. A band that does stick out is a band called Avantasia. I think that's how you pronounce the name. And I was really entertained and really confused. I didn't really know what to think of it. Like one part of my brain, I was like, this is so fucking hilarious. And the other part of me was like, this is so fucking stupid. We didn't stay for the whole entire set because it became a little bit too campy for us, but I think there's some like charm in that. It's like, this is so weird. I went to see a Swedish female band called Thunder Mother. I really enjoyed them. They remind me a little bit of AC/DC. Once again, getting some food, we went to see CC Top and Satyricon back to back. I really enjoyed both of those bands. They were really different in style, but I found myself like sitting on the ground with my cheesy tortilla and listening to them, and I really enjoyed myself. I thought they were fantastic. Especially CC Top had this really like calm-ish music that I really enjoyed while I was eating my burrito. I was like, this is summer. Satyricon, also super fucking cool. I said in my ranking, like, this is how every band should be in terms of energy, because they had so much fucking fun. They appreciated it so much. They talked to the crowd and they interacted with us. They were fucking amazing. But my mind was on the last band of the entire festival, because the last band of the entire festival, ladies and gentlemen, Greta Van Fleet. I love them so much, and I knew about them a long time before they were announced for Tons. They were one of the reasons that I was like, I have to go this year because I have to see them, and they were so good. I don't think I've ever been so impressed by a band before, like live, because they're fantastic musicians. Listen, if this affects some of you listening here, then get over yourself. When they were announced as one of the headliners, kind of early on for Tons 24, a lot of people were pretty pissed about it, and they were like, this is not rock. Where is the old timers? This is the new timer. This is not rock. And I was like, are you actually for real? And a lot of people didn't want to see them because they were like, I am gonna leave because this band is not what I wanted. I get that everyone has an opinion on something. I totally understand. But if you're gonna go out and you haven't listened to them and you're gonna say, wait, is this a modern band? This isn't proper rock, then kindly fuck right off. Like, I'm serious. If you just say it's because they're new, that is such bullshit, because everyone was new at a point. Oh my god. And it was so satisfying to watch when they entered the stage and began to play and sing, to see the surprise on these people's faces that they were amazing. Do people not know they're like a Grammy-winning band? It was the most fun thing at the entire concert to see people in the crowd who looked really skeptical and pissed to be there suddenly turn around and cheer, and like the looks of surprises on people's faces. Greta Van Fleet is definitely moving up there as one of my favorite bands of all time. They are just incredible. And that was the end of the festival. Fireworks went off. We went home for the last time that year, and I was filled with this like sadness that I would have to wait an entire year for it to happen again. But 2025 is now. Yes, it's here now, and Tons of Rock 2025 is gonna be fucking crazy. A lot of good bands are coming. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, I really appreciate you, because all I do is talk and show you videos that I took, but it's more for me. I really appreciate it if you stuck through it. And Happy New Year, and hopefully we'll get back to our regular content soon when Ghost decides to drop the fucking album. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to, comment, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna go turn on the light because it's dark as hell here. Bye.